I'm pumped and excited to talk to you today about doing a double screen board split. As you can see, I just did it. I recorded it. Just hang with me and you're going to see how I did it. It's really exciting. So we're actually going to open up this hive and do a double screen board split. Just like the name says, it's two screens, one on one layer of the board and one on the other layer. If we just had one screen, potential of two queens actually fighting each other or the bees killing one queen is highly likely. So a double screen kind of separates the two different hives that are going to be existing in one single hive. And so this is a snail grow board. A lot of people think that a double screen board is kind of new. YouTube has made it popular, but it's been around for a very long time, actually. And I have made videos in past years on the double screen board, or what I call the snail grow board. A snail grow board is a double screen board in a true sense of the word, but a snail grow board actually offers more doors, and I'll leave a link in the description, but it has doors on the sides, for the top and the bottom, on both sides, and of course on the front, and that's usually where we see the double screen board has an opening on one front side, but it also has the bottom side as well right over here. So you can actually have three different areas on this snail grow board. Look at that. If you wanted to control where the bees are coming and going in and out, and top box or bottom box. But we're not going to talk about that today. You can watch my video below on the snail grow board, but this is essentially a double screen board. So what I'm going to show you today, I made my own double screen board because when I looked online to think about buying one, because I didn't want to use my snail grow board, I wanted not to confuse you guys, but I took my Burns feeder board, as you can see here, and I added, well, let me show you. I just stapled on a screen where there wasn't a screen on both sides. I only have screens on one side. So I was able to staple on screens so that it becomes a double screen board, as you can see here. And look at this nifty way. If you already have my Burns feeder board, you can make your own double screen board just like I'm showing you here. But a cool thing that I did in order to get the opening, I just took a Dremel tool and I just dremeled right here a little slot on this side. This will be facing up toward the top deep. Just a minute, we're going to get in there and show you. And I'm going to save that, so when it becomes time for me to use this as the feeder again, I'm going to use my staple puller and I'm going to pull off the screens that are darker. The dark colored screens here, the black ones. I'm going to pull this one off, and over here I'll pull these two off, and then it will sit on here and I can jar feed that you've seen me do so much. But this is gonna, and I'm gonna save this little piece here and screw it back in to allow the proper way this feeder is supposed to use. But it only took me about 5 minutes to make these little alterations to it, and I turned a Burns feeder board into a double screen board that quickly. I used 1/8 inch hardware cloth, and you can buy that, and it's for bottom board. It's a screen you see on screen bottom boards, but you can buy that Amazon, different places if you don't have it. Probably any screen would work, but Windows screen gets kind of narrow, and I like the pheromones and the heat to be able to pass through 1/8 a little bit better. All right, let me get out of the bees' way, because I can tell by looking at this hive, if they're not ready to swarm yet, it's going to be any day now. Let's get started. Let's smoke the entrance for the guard bees. And then we'll pop this off here. Now what I'll do in this case, I'm going to be looking to see if there's any brood in these top boxes up here. I'm going to go first to the middle. This will help me speed things up by looking at the center frames to see if the queen has moved up here. A lot of drones, taking a lot of drone flights today. So we're looking to see if the queen could possibly be already all the way up here in this super, and if she is, no big deal. We definitely have brood up here, so that means the queen could be up here. So we're gonna have to spend a minute and look carefully, see if the queen is up here, because I do see eggs and larvae on these frames. Okay, so I took off the medium super. I didn't see the queen there, so now we're going to look for her in this top deep. I overwintered in 2 deeps and a medium super. So let's see if we can find her in here. As you can see, the first frame is a nice frame of capped over honey. Didn't even touch it, didn't need to in the winter time. Second frame is likely to be honey, indeed it is. Third frame, let's see what that looks like. Getting closer to the brood area, it's a little more lightweight. Bee bread, that's what they need to make brood. So we have the kind of like more of a wet looking protein or pollen. That's good. Now we're going to be getting closer to where they're making brood. All right, so let's take a look at this frame. Whoa, somebody went crazy on the drone brood. Holy cow. Above nicely capped worker brood. So it's not a queen issue, it's just that season, time of the year. Holy cow. We did see good capped over worker brood, so it's not a queen issue. All right, we got nice swarm cells at the bottom. Look at that. So now we really need to find the queen. Yeah, that's not even capped over yet, but almost. So they're days, well, minutes or days away from swarming. So the reason I cannot tear that swarm cell down just yet is because possibly they could have already swarmed, and that's going to be their next queen, if that's the only queen cell there is. So we got to make sure we have a queen before we start tearing down queen cells. Stay with me, a lot more to show you in this video, but I want to pop in here real quick and invite you to my live stream every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. I answer your questions, I have giveaways, and I also have a teaching. Love for you to be there. Here's the link right here. I hope you'll join me. Let's get back in here and do the double screen split. Not a bad brood pattern. They're emerging, but it's a good solid brood pattern where she's laying. And we're about out of frames to look at. We're going to be getting over here to the where they store honey, so I don't think we're going to find much over here in the way of a queen. So we're going to have to go to the bottom deep, I think. All right, so we've decided we're going to take off this top deep in order to look for the queen in the bottom deep, and that would be fine. If she's down there, that's really going to be to our advantage. That's where we want her to go anyway. Oh, first frame I pulled up. Look at that. There she is. And it is so windy out here. I'm going to have to take this frame indoors, I think, to mark her because of the wind. I wanted to put a blue dot on her, but yep, there she is. So it's great that we found her. We're going to put her back in the hive, and what we're going to do is walk back there holding her like this and drop her in between two frames. Oh look, she's laying an egg as we hold her. Wow. Alright, so we'll just put her in over here and let her walk in between two frames. And she's gone. That gives us the freedom to put this back in there without injuring her. Because of the gusty high winds, as you can see on my weather station, I was not about to mark her out in this wind. I almost had the frame blown out of my hands, and I didn't want her blowing off the frame either. That's why I went inside with her to mark her. Let's put this one back in. It goes this way. And then we're going to put our double screen board on. Queen is down here, marked blue. We've got a lot more work to do in this double screen split, but hey, listen, I want to encourage you guys to please subscribe to my channel. We're really climbing up towards 200,000 subscribers. Appreciate that so much. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Let's keep working this hive to do this double screen board split. As you can see, their entrance is here. So our double screen board entrance that we made here. So what we're going to do is actually put this opposite of our entrance. This is going to be facing the back of the hive. And of course the queen is going to be down here and going to be held down there. There's no way she can go between the two screens. And the bees in the top box will have the freedom to go back and forth. Now, when using a double screen board, it's really windy, but when using a double screen board, a lot of times what you want to do is sort of push all your brood that is down here up into the top deep, open brood especially, and you want to have more area for the queen to lay down here, maybe some open foundation where she can lay. But in this case, it was a pretty good mixture. I'm not too worried about how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to be fine, but you can already see bees are using their entrance that are in this box, and there's no way they can get down to the bottom box. They're separated by that double screen. I want to make a few more comments about the double screen board. First thing that's noticeable to me is that you do have to split this hive. So in other words, you can't leave it this way forever. So sometimes I think people misunderstand it to mean throw a double screen board in there, you've got a split, you don't have to separate it. No, in that case, you want to do something more like a demare or demare method. But in this case, this is only buying us time. So we're separating the two deeps to prevent swarming, to give us more time to make a split. So in other words, you're still going to have to make this into two separate hives because there's no access from the bottom deep to the top deep. The two screens only allow heat and pheromones to pass through. So you're still going to have to make a split. But in the meantime, it's going to buy us some time, and it is a great way to raise some queens up here. There's a lot of techniques to it. And even if you're an experienced beekeeper and you have the knowledge of how to manipulate frames, you can do some pretty fancy manipulating of frames right now. And so you can put a lot more undrawn foundation in the bottom, make them draw that out, and that would give the queen immediate room to lay more and prevent that from swarming. So you're going to have to come back here actually quite frequently after making this, within 3 or 4 days maybe, and check for queen cells in both boxes. You're still going to have to manage it quite a bit, but it is a way to kind of, if all goes right, this should really break down all the swarm check marks that they need to make in order to swarm. This does disrupt that temporarily. So it does buy us some time. And some people do use it to raise queens. Obviously, this top box may begin raising queens. In that case, you've got some queens. This top box is going to see that they're queenless pretty quickly and probably start raising some queen cells, which would be good cells for you to use somewhere else. So leave a comment and tell me how you have utilized the double screen board. I'd like to hear your methods and what you're doing, and if you found it helpful or not. Now, if you want to see me do a walkaway split, take a look at this video right here. I'll see you guys over there.